We're going to file this under the heading of no duh. It was just announced, possibly on a rumor website, and I'm not picking on that guy at all, that the X-Pro3 will not have an IBIS mechanism. Oh, well, duh. I could have told you that months ago. Why not? This is what happens when people don't understand how cameras are made. It happens to be the case that the hybrid EVF within the X-Pro2 and in the future X-Pro3 is not only expensive, but labor-intensive to put together. Yes, indeed. You know what else is really expensive in a camera? An IBIS mechanism. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Actually, it requires a lot of hand assembly on an IBIS mechanism. You know what would make... People on the X-Pro3, let's dial it back a little bit. Because when the X-Pro2 came out, people were like, why is this camera so expensive? It's because that's hybrid EVF is expensive to manufacture. If Fuji came out, and by the way, an IBIS mechanism adds a minimum of 6 millimeters to the thickness of the camera. If Fujifilm, due to complete lack of foresight and cost-benefit analysis, came out with an X-Pro3 camera with both a hybrid EVF, which it has to have, and an IBIS mechanism, it would not only be really thick, people would be like, why is this camera so thick? People would foremostly go, oh my God, why is this camera so expensive? Why? Because it has the two most expensive things in it that you could Now, Leica could get away with like charging many, many thousands of dollars for a camera, producing something like that, yeah? No. People would have a hissy fit if you stuck an expensive IBIS mechanism in the X-Pro3 and necessitatively it must have a hybrid viewfinder, yeah? You stick both of those things in one camera, the camera would be really, really, really expensive. Really expensive. Let's repeat that again. Really expensive. And it'd be a lot thicker. Why is it thicker? Yeah. How else did you think they got the IBIS mechanism in there? Of course the X-Pro3 isn't going to have an IBIS. I couldn't even imagine how much an X-Pro3 would cost if you stuck not only the hybrid EVF optical, which it has to have since it's an X-Pro3, and an IBIS mechanism. That would be like the most labor-intensive camera in recent history. Outside of like a GFX 100. But that camera's $10,000, right? That would be radically time-consuming to produce a camera like that. So, let's file this under a duh. I'm not really being that sarcastic or arrogant, even though you probably think I am. It's just, you have to understand. If you stuck those two things in the camera, it'd be a lot thicker and a lot more expensive. I mean, a lot.